If your life were a book and you were the author, how would you want the story to go? That's the question that changed my life forever. Growing up in the hot Las Vegas desert, all I wanted was to be free. I could daydream about traveling the world, living in a place where it snowed, and I could picture all the stories that I would go on to tell. At the age of 19, the day after I graduated high school, I moved to the place where it snowed and I became a massage therapist. With this job, all I needed were my hands and my massage table by my side, and I could go anywhere. For the first time in my life, I felt free, independent, and completely in control of my life. That is, until my life took a detour. I went home from home early one day with what I thought was flu. And less than 24 hours later, I was in the hospital on life support with less than a 2% chance of living. It wasn't until days later, as a latecomer, that the doctor diagnosed me with bacterial meningitis, a vaccine-preventable blood infection. Over the course of 2.5 months, I lost my spleen, my kidneys, the hearing in my left ear, and both of my legs below the knee. When my parents wheeled me out of the hospital, I felt like I had been pieced back together like a patchwork doll. I thought the worst was over until weeks later when I saw my new legs for the first time. The calves were bulky blocks of metal with pipes bolted together for the ankles and a yellow rubber foot with a raised rubber line from the toe to the ankle to look like a vein. I didn't know what to expect, but I wasn't expecting that. With my mom by my side and tears streaming down our faces, I strapped on these chunky legs and I stood up. They were so painful and so confining that all I could think was, how am I ever going to travel the world in these things? How was I ever going to live the life full of adventures and stories as I wanted? How was I going to snowboard again? That day, I went home. I crawled to bed and what might look like for the next few months. Me passed out, escaping from reality, with my legs resting by my side. I was absolutely, physically, and emotionally broken. But I knew that in order to move forward, I had to let go of the old Amy and learn to embrace the new Amy. And that is when it dawned on me that I didn't have to be 5'5" anymore. I could be as tall as I wanted, or as short as I wanted, depending on who I was dating. And if I snowboard again, my feet aren't going to get cold. And best of all, I thought, I can make my feet the size of all the shoes that are on the sales rack. And I did, so there were benefits here. It was this moment that I asked myself that life-defining question. If my life were a book, I were the author, how would I want the story to go? I began to daydream. I daydreamed like I did as a little girl and imagined myself walking gracefully, helping other people through my journey and snowboarding again. And I didn't just see myself carving down a mountain powder, I could actually feel it. I could feel the wind against my face and the beat of my racing heart as if it was happening in that very moment. And that's when a new chapter in my life began.